Hi everyone, this is Glenda Ganzon and welcome to my Nihongo class. And for today's lesson, I'm going to be teaching you how to use an affirmative and negative adjective in constructing sentence in Nihongo. So stay tuned. First of all, I'm going to give you some examples of affirmative and negative words in Nihongo. So if you notice here, in this row are affirmative words in Nihongo. Generally, adjectives are made in affirmative. If you notice, all of our affirmative adjectives end in letter I. Example, akai, which means red, ends in letter I. In order for us to make it a negative adjective, we only need to drop this letter I and add kunai. To make red in negative, which is not red, we drop letter I from akai and we added kunai. Red in Nihongo is akakunai. In our next example, you can notice that this word or this adjective ends in double I. All we need to do is to drop one I from this adjective, and to make it negative adjective, we only need to add kunai. Atarashi means new. If we make it not new, we need to drop one I so the other I still stays here, and we add kunai. So not new is atarashi kunai. The next example is omoi, which means heavy. In order for us to make it a negative adjective, we drop this letter I and add kunai to make it not heavy. In Nihongo, not heavy is omokunai. And our last example is karui, which means light. If we say karui, we are talking about weight. So in order for us to make it negative, we only need again to drop letter I and add kunai. So in order for us to make it not light in Nihongo, it will be karukunai. So let us read these affirmative words once again. Akai, red. Atarashi, new. Omoi, heavy. Karui, light. To make it negative, we need to drop I from the last letter of the word and add kunai. Akakunai means not red. Atarashi kunai means not new. Omokunai means not heavy, and karukunai means not light. Let's make an example of affirmative and negative adjectives. All we need is to take note of the pattern on how to construct affirmative and negative adjective in constructing Nihongo sentence. Our pattern will be noun plus wa plus adjective and des. For my first sentence, my bag is heavy. If you notice, the words that are written in red are adjectives, and heavy is an affirmative adjective, which means omoi in Nihongo. You notice that omoi ends in letter I because this is an affirmative adjective. So again, following the pattern, my bag, which is noun, should be written following the pronoun. So my is watashi no, bag is kaban, and this is our pattern followed by wa. So kaban wa followed by adjective omoi and followed by des, which is written in the last part of the sentence. So if we translate my bag is heavy in Nihongo, it will be watashi no kaban wa omoi desu. I'll repeat, my bag is heavy. In Nihongo, it will be watashi no kaban wa omoi desu. In my second sentence here, my bag is not heavy. If you noticed, I underlined not because this is a negative adjective. So again, following our pattern, we need to write the pronoun followed by the noun, or noun plus wa plus adjective plus des. This is very important for us to take note. My, again, is watashi no bag is kaban, followed by wa, and followed by not heavy. If you notice, from our affirmative adjective, it ends in I. To make it negative, we drop this letter I to make it omo, and we only added kunai in order for us to make it a negative adjective. So not heavy is omokunai, and the last is des. So if we translate my bag is not heavy in Nihongo, it will be watashi no kaban wa omokunai desu. Once again, my bag is not heavy in Nihongo is watashi no kaban wa omokunai desu. Another example will be her clothes is red. This is an affirmative adjective. Again, following our pattern, we will be translating her, which is kanojo no. Take note that her is a possessive pronoun, followed by a noun which is fuku, which means clothes, and noun is followed by the particle wa, and the adjective red, which is akai. If you notice here, we did not put des, but that is okay. We can or we may or may not put des at the end of the sentence, and the meaning of the sentence is still there. So if we try to translate her clothes is red, in Nihongo it will be kanojo no fuku wa akai. Once again, her clothes is red. In Nihongo is kanojo no fuku wa akai. In my next example, we make this red or this adjective in negative adjective, not red. So again, following our pattern, we only change red from not red in this sentence, which is if we make this adjective or affirmative adjective into negative adjective, again, we only need to drop letter I from akai and add kunai. So her clothes is not red. In Nihongo is kanojo no fuku wa akakunai. Again, her clothes is not red. In Nihongo is kanojo no fuku wa akakunai. Another example is Glenda's house is new. New is an affirmative, and as you can see, new in Nihongo means atarashi, and it has two I at the end of this word. So following the pattern, noun plus wa plus adjective plus des. Glenda's is Glenda-san no. We use no here, which is a particle that indicates possession. House, ye, followed by wa, and our adjective atarashi, which is new, and followed by des. So if we try to translate Glenda's house is new, it will be Glenda-san no e wa atarashi desu. Once again, Glenda's house is new. In Nihongo is Glenda-san no e wa atarashi desu. Let's try to make this affirmative adjective into negative adjective in a sentence. In my example, I only change this sentence from affirmative adjective into negative adjective. So Glenda's house is not new, and I only make it negative adjective. To make it a negative adjective, I only drop one I from the double I at the end of atarashi and added kunai to make it negative adjective. So if we try to translate Glenda's house is not new in Nihongo, it will be Glenda-san no e wa atarashi kunai desu. We only added kunai in this sentence to make it or to make this adjective a negative one. So I'll repeat, Glenda's house is not new in Nihongo is Glenda-san no e wa atarashi kunai desu. Another example is his dog is light. Following the pattern, noun plus wa plus adjective plus desu. Let's try to translate this sentence in Nihongo. His is a possessive pronoun. It should be put in the beginning of the sentence. So his is karino, followed by the noun, which is dog. In Nihongo, it is inu, followed by wa, followed by light. In Nihongo is karui. And the last word to be added in my sentence is des. So if we translate his dog is light in Nihongo, it will be karino inu wa karui des. I'll repeat. his dog is light in Nihongo is kari no inu wa karui desu. Let's make this affirmative adjective into negative adjective in my next example. All we need to do is to add not to this adjective. So his dog is not light in Nihongo, it will be kare no inu wa karukunai desu. What we did is we only dropped letter I from the affirmative adjective and add kunai to make it karukunai, which means not light. So his dog is not light in Nihongo is kari no inu wa karukunai desu. Another example is the use of this pattern. We write adjective in the beginning of the sentence, followed by noun, followed by particle, and followed by type form, or anything that should be added at the last part of the sentence. But in my example, I want to eat an apple that is not red. As you notice, this part of the sentence, not red, should be put in the beginning of the sentence if we construct it in Nihongo. So take note, not red should be put in the beginning of Nihongo sentence if we try to translate from English to Nihongo. And let's not forget our Thai form from our previous lesson. So, not red is akakunai. Apple is ringo, followed by a particle o and tabitai, which means I want to eat. So, if we translate I want to eat an apple that is not red in Nihongo, it will be akakunai ringo o tabitai. Akakunai is not red. I'll repeat, I want to eat an apple that is not red. In Nihongo, it is akakunai ringo o tabitai. In my next sentence, I only made this negative adjective into a positive adjective. And following again our pattern, which is adjective plus noun plus particle plus type form, the adjective should be written in the beginning of the sentence. So, red is akai, and I wrote it in the beginning of this sentence, followed by the noun, apple or ringo in Nihongo, followed by the particle o, and the last is the type form, which is I want to eat, which is tabitai. So if we translate I want to eat an apple that is red in Nihongo, it will be akai ringo o tabitai. I'll repeat, I want to eat an apple that is red in Nihongo is akai ringo o tabitai. Another example is I want to drink water that is not cold. Again, following our pattern, adjective should be written in the beginning of Nihongo sentence. Not cold is tsumitakunai. Water is mizu, followed by particle o, and nomitai, meaning want to drink. So if we translate I want to drink water that is not cold in Nihongo, it will be tsumitakunai mizu o nomitai. I'll repeat, tsumitakunai mizu o nomitai. In my next statement or sentence, I only made this negative adjective into affirmative adjective. Following our pattern, this affirmative adjective should be written in the beginning of Nihongo sentence. So, cold is tsumitai, mizu is water, followed by particle o, and nomitai, which is I want to drink. So, if we translate I want to drink water that is cold in Nihongo, it will be tsumitai mizu o nomitai. I'll repeat, tsumitai mizu o nomitai. Another example is the car that is not new is blue. If you notice in this sentence, we have two adjectives. One is a negative adjective and the other one is a positive adjective. So our pattern in this example will be adjective plus noun plus wa plus adjective plus des. But we will be putting the first adjective in the beginning of Nihongo sentence. So if you notice, this first adjective is a negative adjective, not new, should be put in the beginning of Nihongo sentence, which is atarashi kunai, followed by a noun, which is car, followed by wa here, followed by the second adjective, blue or oi, and the last word to be put in the Nihongo sentence is des. So if we try to translate the car that is not new is blue, it will be atarashi kunai kuruma wa aru desu. I'll repeat, the car that is not new is blue. In Nihongo, it is atarashi kunai kuruma wa aru desu. In my next example, the house that is old is big. You notice that we have two adjectives in this sentence, and they are both affirmative adjective. We will be putting the first adjective in the beginning of the sentence, followed by the noun, followed by wa, and followed by the second adjective. And take note, we don't have des in this sentence, but that is okay. We may or we may not put des at the end of the sentence. So if we translate the house that is old is big in Nihongo, it will be furui wa oki. I'll repeat, the house that is old is big. In Nihongo, it will be furui wa oki. Another example will be my shoes that is big is new. Again, we have two adjectives in this sentence, big and new. And the first adjective should be written in the beginning of Nihongo sentence, followed by the pronoun, followed by the noun, followed by wa, followed by the second adjective, and followed by des. So our first adjective is big, is uki, followed by my, which is a possessive pronoun, watashi no, followed by the shoes, which is a noun, is kutsu, followed by wa, and followed by our last or second adjective in the sentence, nu is atarashi, and followed by des. So if we try to translate my shoes that is big is new, in Nihongo it will be uki watashi no kutsu wa atarashi desu. I'll repeat, my shoes that is big is new. In Nihongo, it will be oki watashi no kutsu wa atarashi desu. My next example is the bag that is black is heavy. Again, we have two adjectives in this sentence, and the first adjective should be written in the beginning of Nihongo sentence, followed by the noun, followed by wa, followed by the second adjective, and followed by des. So black should be written in the beginning of Nihongo sentence, followed by kaban, which means bag, followed by omoi, which is heavy, and the last is des. So if we translate the bag that is black is heavy in Nihongo, it will be koroi kaban wa omoi desu. I'll repeat, the bag that is black is heavy in Nihongo is kuroi kaban wa omoi desu. Thank you so much for watching this video and for listening to my lesson. Again, if you have any question, please don't forget to write it in the comment section down below. And if you're still not subscribed to my channel, please do consider subscribing. Also share this video and hit the notification bell so that you'll be updated with my new videos. And once again, thank you so much for watching. Stay safe everyone. Bye!